Hey, I'm back, and it's time. Let's get down. We're going to do a game between Igor Van Vichy Ivanov or something like that. I'm not. I don't mean to pronounce his name, and we'll just call him Igor. And this is black is Joel Benjamin. So we'll put Benjamin here, or Joel, and Igor. So Igor's white, Benjamin is, or Joel is black. Okay, this is about the two bishops versus knights. This is also on how, if you notice here, how you could be winning all the way in the middle game and at the end game collapse. So this is a good showing of how to not give up even though it looks kind of slim in the middle game. So let's continue. Igor played c4 and Joel played g6. Igor played e4, controlling the center. So he wants to. Oops, he wants to control here. This, if you notice, that's where the majority of his pawns are. So he's going to play for d. More likely, he's going to play for d5. Now he's going for a humongous pawn center. What Jeremy Stillman talked about in Reassess Your Chess Second Edition, where actually this game came from, is that if you can get a strong center like this, do it. If you can keep it, because that means you have more space. But if you're black, or if you're Joel wants to crunch this center, destroy it all, destroy this. And Igor wants to protect this with all of his might. So there's a plan, even 3 moves into the game, what they're planning on doing. D4 6 is preparing to get the bishop out. Also, it's preparing E5 at the right point, or C5 to undermine the center. Now he comes in. Joel wants to castle kingside. He castles. Igor is developing with mass force. If you notice, he's got 3 pieces. Joel only has 1, because this piece right here is blocked by the knight. So at the moment, 1 piece is developed. This, yes, developed, but not to its best ability. And if you notice something, the center of Igor is holding really powerful at this moment. So E5, he breaks real quick with E5. Joel does. He knows he has but a matter of time before Igor will consolidate the center and then really do a devastating blow to black, or Joel. So Igor, you know what? If he allows this or that trade to happen, if he allows this trade, it breaks open the center. His whole idea is central control. So what he'd want to do with his plan is play d5. d5 is very important because it allows the center to be intact. Also, it gains space on c6 and e6. Black, though, was also able to, if you notice, weaken 2 squares or 3 squares in the camp, but mainly 2. He opened up a weakness on the dark squares, d4, and on c5. These 2 dark square spots were weakened by this push. Mainly that spot here was given over because there's nothing. Something can actually be implanted there. Yes, it could be kicked out, but still, this is a weakness. So Igor is going to have to be careful on that. Oh, darn. Okay. So Joel plays A4, A5. A5 does a couple things that my teacher that I had before, Nate Gringo, he would talk about before you implant a knight here, before you implant this knight here, you want to push A5. The reason you want to play A5 is it's important to do that. A5 stops the kicking potential of B4. Just one sec, guys. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Had to do something real quick. I apologize about that. Okay. Okay, you're wondering what A5 does. He's planning on going, he's planning a knight going here and here, implanting into a strong outpost on C5. That's what was taught to me. And so if you want to implant a knight there, you have to make sure that this pawn can't be pushed. And A5 does the job, sweet and clear. Castles, knight A6. He attacks the bishop, and he doesn't mind if black takes, white takes, because he'll take back with bishop takes F6, and then he'll have the 2 bishop advantage. So Igor knows that if he does give up that ability, it's going to be not to the best of his ability, not to his favoritism. He wants to keep a strong center, and the only way to do that is to keep pieces. He's cramping at the moment, Joel, and so he's going to try to keep pieces off. Joel wants to trade so that he can hammer these 2 spots here. He also has a knight that's about to go to C5, and but he waits for that because there's really no real reason at the moment to do that, because it's not an important spot. Develop your pieces, then implant it, because anytime this knight can come here, anytime. Knight C5, now in comes the knight, and there's a double attack here. The reason the queen, if you're wondering why the queen got off the diagonal, that was a prophylactic move, and now these 2 knights can actually attack this. Before, if the queen was here, there would only be 1 knight that could actually attack it. It'd be this knight. But now, because this queen's here, 2 knights can actually do it. This knight could take here. This knight takes this first. This knight takes, and then that knight takes. But if the queen was right here, this knight couldn't take. So look for those in-between moves. Prophylactic is, if I'm not mistaken, it's another word for in-between move. In-between move. I know you're thinking Zugzwamp or Zugzwamp. That's not it. Are a lot of the other chess terms. Okay. Bishop takes. Keith's got to actually now do that, because if he doesn't take right here, this pawn's going to fall. So that was a forced take at that point. And now Joel has the 2 bishop advantage. He's got a wonderful placed knight. End game is looking, his middle game is doing rather okay, but he needs to be very careful, because 2 knights are really good in a end game, closed end game, and this is super duper closed. Bishop comes in, takes. Okay, so what happened was Igor was able to trade off his bad bishop. If you notice, let's go back. How many pawns are on the same color as this bishop? The majority of the pawns. So by being able to trade off his bad bishop, he traded off some of his weakness. He also left Joel with a weak bishop, which means, because if you notice, the majority of the pawns are on the same color as this bishop here. Yeah, that guy, look at all the pawns that are on there. He would have loved to have kept his light squared bishop, not his dark squared, but sometimes you have to do with what you got, and Joel is a master of the endgame. He loves the endgame. He's got a really good book as well. Liquidation on the Chessboard is really good. Okay, bishop goes back, because what he's going to want to do is play either here and then there. This is a really interesting position. Retreats back. Yep, there we go. Bishop comes in. So now it takes, and then you have this push here. This bishop is slowly opening up the diagonal. If you can't, Jeremy, someone also says, if there's no diagonal for your bishop to be on, sometimes you have to make one. So be ready to make a diagonal if you have to. Even if you have to open up some pawns to get that diagonal you need, do it. But be careful, because you don't want to walk right into your opponent's idea. Okay, let's continue onward. Right now, Igor has to counter strike. Otherwise, what's going to happen is he's going to get Joel's dark square bishop's going to become powerful, and he's going to wreak havoc in the position. Queen comes up, and knight. See, now they're getting towards somewhat of a middle game, and it's interesting now. Igor crushes out with an attack. Bang! He goes bang with h5. This is going to make another pawn have to go on the color of that bishop. The queen, you notice how they're slowly developing, they're not taking. Everything's the development. They're just slowly developing. See, what happened was taking was a mistake. What he should have done is actually have taken here. See, let's show you. Takes. See, takes. This is a computer analysis. Well, in real, who in the world would want to actually go into somewhat of that position? But it was better for black, though, to have this takes is not the best, because it allows the rook to come out. If you notice, now there's a potential for a doubling up of the rooks on this file, so it opened up a file. You don't really want to do that with a player like Joel. But see, he's thinking, Igor's thinking that if he trades off, he can double up these pawns, and potentially something's going to happen. Something's going to fall apart. Takes. And then now the sitch happens. You have a sitch with this knight. So the only move to save the knight is actually d3. But guess what? Joel got to win a pawn. Now he's up a pawn. And this is when Igor has. It's funny. The game, if you notice the trend right here, Igor starts to lose around move 25, around 15. I mean 23. Move 23 is when the advantage starts to slip. Actually, it's 24 is when the advantage slips. So you got to be careful. You can be leading all the way from 1 to to 20, and then one slight mishap in the position will end you a pawn down and maybe a lost game. So do not let up at any point in the game. He takes, because if you notice, he takes there, knight takes. The rook is actually trapped. Well, not yeah. Well, no. Actually, the why the rook has to trade off, I think you guys already know. Right there, this knight is attacking here, so he has to actually take. Otherwise, Igor will have a really big advantage. Okie dokie. So takes. There's still a pawn up. You see how Joel isn't afraid of this happening here? Because what does he have? Two connected pawns. This is an isolated pawn. It's not going anywhere. Remember, he's got a bishop. Bishop's in an endgame if there's two pawns on different sides of the board. Bishops love pawns split on split side of the boards, and that's what's there right now. So now, if you notice, there's a triple attack there. The queen could be lost. So the rook has to come over to defend the f2 pawn. Bang! There goes an attack. He's trying to cram the pawn right on through anyways. And then now. This right here, this move here, critical point. If she should have played here. Do not move your queen. What happens when he moved his queen? He lost the game. Best would have been B3, because there. Well, let's go through and we'll see. But what happened when he played queen there is he was able to play the creative E3, which totally the position fell apart at this point. E1 was another mistake. Best chance was there. And it was equal at this. It was kind of a different. It's losing, so let's see here. Then when he moved there for a check, so that was even a mistake. That was. So he blundered even a blunder back. He moved. That was a mistake. Because if you notice that there's mate and 2 here, that's checkmate. That was actually played in a game too, so, and that was missed. And so at this point, Igor saw that these two passed pawns were way too strong, and eventually one of these was going to become a queen. It was going to win so much material. And if you notice, Igor had 1, 2, 3 move right back to back. Not the best of the moves. That shows you that what happens is sometimes you have to forgive yourself. You can't let the situation that you are in right now in a game and in life change you for any reason, because that's the important part about chess, is it teaches you how to be more than how should I say this? I'm trying to think. I guess that, some words in English you can't say, so I'll just leave it with it helps you, it makes you more, and that is great, because then the Lord can use you in the field that you're in. So you have to remember, guys, that it's sometimes hard to wait. It's easy. Sometimes it's easy in chess to just push and just keep pushing, but just waiting, just wait, and at the right time, the the small in a door, when it opens and there's a light, that's that moment when you just push and the door opens, and what you had before you is great, but you have to wait with the position. And Joel, even back here, he could have, when he played here, when didn't see he didn't see that there was a mate 2. He pushed right here. There was mate 2 right here. Takes mate 2. He got overwhelmed with that. Igor made a lot of mistakes. He couldn't believe it. He couldn't think that Igor, who's a wonderful player as well, I'm not dissing Igor or anything. He couldn't imagine that a player of a certain level could make a mistake like this. And you got to remember, when if you ever face any grandmasters, IMs, experts, wherever you guys are in your level of play, don't always make an assumption that they see everything and then their moves that they're playing are the best ones. Because there's no doubt about it, Joel, a grandmaster, Joel Benjamin, if he was facing anybody else, would have seen the mate 2. But he respected his opponent, which we should respect our opponents. But don't respect them to the point that you miss wins. And the main thing is fear. Fear is huge in chess. If you feel fearful, stop, get up, either go for a walk, you can close your eyes, pray, whatever would help you to refocus down. But don't, just because of a rating, think that your opponent is better than you. Remember, you studied too. You have a brain. Your opponent has a brain. Chess is a battle of the minds and ideas. So remember, whose idea on the board goes the furthest and wins. Just remember that. Remember this right here. If you have any questions about anything, rewatch this part. Listen to it. If you get fear, doubt, or anything that you can't beat players, look. Igor is a grandmaster. It doesn't say that there, but I will just for the part say he's a grandmaster. I know Joel Benjamin's a grandmaster, but I'm not sure about Igor. So yeah, we'll say he's a really great player, great player. Okay. Even great players make small mistakes, and that slowly you can take advantage of that and win. You can win a game that is incredible. Like, there's a really good player out there right now, Ding Lauren. He on chess.com, a website, he did a really good game that had like 3 back-to-back exclams. One was a double, and so it shows you there's players out there. They're not afraid. Don't be afraid. Okay, enough kind of like pep talk and stuff. We need to get into some chess playing and learning as well. But the psychological stuff about chess is important. I like how um, brain doctors have said that there's like there's parts that you have to overcome in your mind. Is that there's the your brain's marvelously made, and so let's start off with that. I don't know all about what brain doctors do, but I remember on a podcast that I listened to, there's actually 3 parts that we have to overcome: fear. We have to understand that it's possible, and then the third step is doing. So remember, it's possible. Get over the fear and then do it. Okay, let's do some chess puzzles. And remember, I'm not the master of all things. I'm just here to help you improve. That's the reason I'm here, is for you guys. So just remember, you can do it. You can do it. You guys can do it. I believe in you. Okay, but it starts with you. So remember that. Okay, we're gonna go back to 18. We're gonna do some tactics. So let's see what we got here. Okay, rook check. Come on. Takes. Let's see what their idea is, because sometimes you can get an idea by their movements. Takes, takes, takes. Now this is the point in critical point in the position. Okay. If you notice that this can't take, because if this takes, you deliver with mate. This can't take because of that, and then if that takes, you're up a whole queen. Yes, you have 2 rooks, a queen and a rook. Is there anything better? Let's see here. Okay, queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes. I'm trying to see, because so if knight takes here, queen takes, rook takes, then that's protected. So what we're gonna have to do is play queen takes here, knight takes, rook there, yeah. Because sometimes you may get 3 pieces for a queen, and that's good. Like if you trade these things off for a queen, white's happy to have traded a queen off for these 3 pieces. because three pieces, like if you do bishop knight and then like another, let's say another bishop, queen is sometimes worth that into an endgame if you get into an endgame, because then you'll have more material. Okay. Ooh, okay, let's go to 15. Takes, takes, takes. Okay, he's attacking the knight. Knight takes, 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 takes. Now he's attacking the rook, and the bishop is attacking the pawn on d6. So rook e8. Now he's protecting. So all the queen now has to do is get here. Actually, get rid of this piece here and then there. But this bishop holds this square here. Queen takes. Okay. A critical point in the game now happens. So let's see. Okay, there, and it takes. So now we have to decide what is the sitch in this section here. Okay. We know that his idea is to play bishop here, maybe. So when he played here, he's protecting. He's also going after the weak pawn on a6. So you have to be looking at those things. But what could black counter with right now? Taking looks very, very nice. The only problem is you have rook, and then it's not good, because you then, well, maybe that works. And I think about it. Let's see. Here, no, because then take back. So if we played, no, we can't play there. Well, let's see if we played here. Huh. Maybe if we played rook c6. Not sure. Right there, okay. The takes. Okay, there's up a hole. So you got to be careful with those ideas. Sometimes they look tempting to win a pawn, but it actually loses the game. So let's go to 13. So bishop b2, d6, a3. Queen comes in. Pawn push. g3. Knight takes, takes. So guys, what is black's idea here? We know that this pawn can't be pushed. This rook's under attack. One of these rooks is going to have to pin this bishop. We know that for a fact. Or potentially bishop takes bishop, queen takes, and then we bring a rook over, pinning. So let's start. Oh. And then that's what happens. Okay, let's go back to 18. See how we got to that position here. I'm looking at rook takes pawn, bishop takes, rook takes, and the queen has to move. But we have to remember that we have a couple great players in the Candidates tournament as well. Wesley So is there, and Fabiano Caruana is there as well. So that's cool. It's going to be a really good Candidates tournament, guys. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to face world champion Magnus Carlsen. Ooh, interesting. This is actually the cooler. Okay, we'll do one more puzzle here, and then I have to log off for get some papers done for my work, and then so I can hit the hay for work tomorrow as well. Got a couple things I got to do. You know, life. Let's see. But I wanted to get on and say hi to you guys and talk to you guys. It's important. We got to help each other in the chess community. So keep watching and keep improving. Okay, my bad. I forgot. You got to go back to see kind of what their idea is. Let's see here. Now it's white. Yeah, I should. That is the thing that's hard about this. I don't know why the board is a little small. I you know it is a little difficult to see, but I'll see it. I'll see if I can work on that. I don't know if I can enlarge this any further. So. But I'm glad you like the streaming. It's about learning. That's the whole thing. Okay. Thinking that maybe knight takes, queen takes. Maybe not. Oh boy. This is an interesting pickle. Oh, wait a second. If we play bishop here, attacking the queen. Let's say the queen moves here. I can open in a discovery attack, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why the board's little. It is kind of a little small on the recordings, but I'll have to figure out how maybe to enlarge this. I'm not sure. But thank you for streaming in and watching, though, guys. I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, with that, I gotta log off. as Wesley. Okay, you can set it to capture the position, and you can just press. Oh, wait a second. I think it's alternate. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, that is right. You can push that and then plus to enlarge the. Oh, let me see here. Oh, oh, wow, nice. Thank you, Railbird. I didn't know that. That that makes it a lot easier for viewers to see. Yeah. Oh, thank you. All right. I'll have to do that next. I'll put that on there next time and enlarge it like that next time we meet. Okay. Okay. As Wesley would say, serve the Lord Jesus, and as I say, guys, God bless. And I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV. Thank you. Bye bye.